hello taters, and hey, I am here with a mental health check-in. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a few years. So yeah, gotta quit saying that. I'm gonna turn into a drinking game. Anyways, last winter we went to Arizona, and yeah, as you can see in the background here, this is the property we're buying, and it's our retirement home. Keep saying that. So anyways, yeah, we're buying a house in Arizona. Not that we're going to live there full time, just in the winters. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video to let you know that you don't need to keep toxic people in your life to maintain social status, or worry about what this toxic person thinks about you. I mean, recently I've had to cut my mother completely, well, not completely out of my life, just on Facebook. Just some really bad shit, and I got tired of it. I mean, honestly, she tells people how I'm jealous of my brother. Oh, she's always been jealous of her brother, but yeah, I'm jealous of somebody who has been in and out of prison and jail since they were a teenager, from anything from burglary, attempted murder, back when he stabbed that guy in the back while he was robbing his house, rape, the list goes on of what he's been in prison for. Why he's still out, why they keep letting him out is beyond me. But no, I'm not jealous of him. The problem is that as soon as he was born, and I was like 2, she sent me away for my grandparents to raise. And yeah, she says it was my choice, but what fucking 2-year-old is going to be thinking logically like, I think I'd have a better life if I lived with my grandparents, mama, dada, I want my grandma, no, that's not how things worked. Growing up, hearing how he was her miracle child. Oh, he's gonna save the world someday, she knows it. Oh, miracle child. Well, I spent my entirety trying to figure out why, what was wrong with me and why I wasn't good enough for her to want to live in her house or to love, at all. Yeah, I'd go visit her sometimes on weekends, but most times she just sent us to a babysitter so she could go party. Why visit? And then she would get mad because I didn't want to go to her house after a while. I mean, it's full of a drunk adult on drugs, and then when I did get molested, okay, I was like in kindergarten. When I finally told her a couple years later what happened, it didn't count because he didn't technically put his penis in me. Yeah, that's how your child tell your child, oh, it didn't count. The trauma you're going through doesn't count. He didn't put a penis in you. And I'm tired of keeping that secret. And the shame. Okay? Yeah. She made me feel ashamed of it. It was my fault that it never technically happened, because of that rule. Yeah. When she'd meet a new guy, she'd move me in to show what a wonderful mommy she was. But it only lasted a couple months to maybe 6 months at the most. Long enough for me to get adjusted at this new school, and then, pow, back to Grandma and Grandpa's, which was my home. And that was my truly home. When people ask me about my parents, I talk about my grandparents. They raised me. All my fondest memories are of their house. I tried living with my mom a couple of times, but, after having my stuff broken and stolen by my brother, beat up, threatened, just tortured in general. And then when I said anything, all I got was, well, what did you do to piss him off that bad? Not, hey, why'd you break your sister's nose? Hey, why'd you punch your sister in the eye? Why'd you break her glasses? But no, it was always, what did you do to piss him off? So, yeah, and then she wonders why, as an adult, or, as a teenager, I don't want to live with her anymore. I wanted to live with my grandmother at that time. And I did. Because to get away from it all, I had to go to a counselor at my school because she wouldn't listen to me. I had to go to a counselor at my school and tell them all the things that my brother done to me. And you know what? CPS removed me at once and placed me back with my grandmother. And she can deny this all she wants. But it happened. It happened. And I stayed at my grandmother's. Yeah. So there was that. And yeah, that's all I'm going to get into about my childhood with her. Other than the fact that at the age of 13, I was fat. And, she had to show me how to be skinny and loved by throwing up and taking laxatives. So from 13 till, I'd say 32, yeah, I looked like a crackhead, but that was because I was gorging and purging and taking the laxatives. I had to look good for mommy, because, yeah, only fat chicks, they just get married to a certain, stereotypical type of person and pop out a whole lot of, half-breeds. And she made me, I was afraid to get fat. I was afraid to get fat. I really was. Yeah. I was terrified of being fat. And body, what is that, dysmorphia. I had it bad. And then in my 30s, due to some medications, because, I was diagnosed with bipolar and schizoaffective disorder, which I don't let rule my life. I take my medications, I'm stable. I have a normal life. But yeah, I'm chubby now. I'm chubby. I work out, I eat right, but I'm chubby. Menopause kind of does that also, but we won't get into that crap. And so, yeah, now I'm just another one of those, fat bitches that she can't stand. Yeah, I've heard the hurtful things that she said because, people tell me. I don't know if it's because they enjoy, her hurting me or just the gossip. But yeah, I don't always have to know what she says. So, yeah. So recently she was, hospitalized after my dad passed away, which I'm totally not even going to get into because that situation made me angrier than anything. So what made me finally, listen to my therapists of like 18 years and finally cut her out of my life. It was a fucking doozy, and yeah, we'll get into that. Okay, so my brother calls me and he tells me, hey, Mom's on her way to the hospital in an ambulance. So I spend all that night and half the next day trying to talk to somebody about my mom. She's just in the emergency room. That's all they can tell me. Because my brother is the only one who can visit or say anything. But then that changed when they found out that he was a felon and that their are a few domestic disputes, shall we say, on police record where he was arrested. All right, that being said, nothing else. Okay, so she signs the paperwork saying that, I have access to her medical records. And she just wasn't adding up, what she was saying. So, she admitted to me, before I got to talk to the doctor, that, when I talked to her on the phone, that she had been using heroin because her doctor kicked her off of her medications. Now, during this phone call, there are three different stories of why she got kicked off her medications. In one phone call that lasted maybe 20 minutes. The first story is her doctor rescheduled her appointment without telling her, and she missed it, so she got kicked off of her medications. The second story being that she went to an appointment with Buck and missed her appointment trying to reschedule it and got kicked off her medications. And the third story is her doctor went into premature labor and wasn't even there for the appointment she missed, and she got kicked off her medications. Okay. So yeah, this was like, she told me this. So yeah, in a 20-minute conversation, three different stories. So I wait till the doctor has enough time to call me back to discuss her like he wanted to. So he calls me and he tells me that yes, she has pneumonia and septicemia in her bloodstream, which is bad. Not life-threatening, and no, she was not in ICU like she keeps telling people. Wasn't a thing, or else the doctor would have said, hey, she's in ICU here, and I would have never left her bedside till they gave her the okay to get home. Yeah, that's just the kind of person I am. Okay, when my brother overdosed, I sat by his bedside, even though I can't stand him. He's family. He didn't have anybody else there. Alright? Kind of person I am. So, yeah. Would not have left her bedside. You guys all know this. So, then he tells me that not only does she have the heroin in her system, but she also has methadone, morphine, and meth in her bloodstream. High levels. Which could have been just a little bit more, and she could have overdosed. Yeah, all those in her tiny body. You guys know how small she is. If you're friends and family, my mom's tiny. So while she was still in the hospital, well, anyway, we'll get back to the conversation of the doctor. Okay, so he informs me that I have now access to her medical records if I would like any more information. The way he said it was like a wink wink, in case you didn't know kind of stuff you want to know about her. Okay, her pain meds. When you are on pain management and you have to take pain meds for any length of time, you are required by law to take P-tests to make sure you are not A, selling your medication, not taking it, and B, not getting medications from other doctors, because, sometimes that's a big problem with people who just want pain pills. They'll go from doctor to doctor to get as many prescriptions as possible. Kind of hard to do that now. But yeah, so during 2 of these tests, other substances came up in her bloodstream. So she was kicked off of her pain meds, not her blood pressure medications. She just decided to stop taking those because if I'm not getting the pain meds, why bother, I guess. Okay. So I asked about her heart murmur because, pneumonia and coughing, I was worried. I'm concerned. What heart murmur, he asked. She's been to see a heart specialist, I told him. It's the same one my aunt goes to. No, she has not, and she's never even been referred to a heart specialist because there's no heart murmur. No heart murmur. So I'm just like, what? Well, what about her Chiari malformation? Okay, this seems to have been a big deal the last 20 years of her not being able to do anything or move or walk, and he said that yes, she does have the Chiari malformation, but it's so slight. That's why it went undetected for so long, and could be one of the causes of her migraines. Okay, which I'm not going to admit, women has migraines. Yeah. So, slight Chiari malformation. That would explain why my entire life, she was active and doing stuff, and going out dancing and partying and doing all this shit. Yeah, then she finds out she's got a slight Chiari malformation, and she milks it for all she's worth. No compressed spine. Yeah, I pretty much started asking about everything. The only thing that they could prove was she has been hospitalized for migraines numerous times, in my childhood. And then I find out that she has also been hospitalized because she has starved herself to the point that she has been hooked to feeding tubes until she gained enough weight to be released from the hospital. Now, I knew she'd been hospitalized a lot growing up, but I always thought it was the headaches, honestly, not this starving herself stuff, which explains why she taught me to binge and purge and laxatives at such an early age. Yeah, I look like a fucking crackhead. I can admit that. So, yeah. That's what the doctor told me. The next day, I get a call from the social services at the hospital telling me she is combative, uncooperative, and untruthful. I mean, they know all of her medical records. I mean, it's right there on a computer. They know what's going on. You can't tell them that's not true. I mean, So, yeah, and then I get a call from animal control, the ones who illegally seized 29 cats from her house. They were concerned because they would have to postpone her court date for the animals until after she was released from the hospital, because she did not sign the cats over like she said. And it wasn't 29 cats. It was 46. They took 46 out of her house. So yeah, that's a lie. There was 46 cats. If you go North Beach Paws about 4 months ago and look through all the posts, you'll see the house. They called her out in everything but name about these cats and the conditions. So yeah, you can look into that for yourself. 46 cats from a hoarder's house. Yeah, North Beach Paws, not me. Okay, so she still has to go to court for, these animals that were cruelly neglected, and I'm not going to get into any of that. 46 cats. They're going to go back, seize all animals, and then also ban her from having any animals whatsoever. No pets whatsoever. Nothing. But the bad thing is those are all my brother's cats, and he's letting her go down for it. So yeah, she'll be having to pay fines for medical bills and all this shit, and he's letting her go down for it. His 71-year-old mother go down for his own cats. Yes. Yes, he's such a good son. But while she was in the hospital, I offered to come in, clean the house, get it ready for her to come back so it was sanitized and safe. But he told me not to bother. He'd been cleaning because, just like her losing her pot all the time, which wasn't a big deal, is pot. I smoke pot, that she's also been losing her heroin around the house, and he keeps finding it everywhere. So I'm like, yeah, that's not a safe situation. So she gets released. She's like demanding I come out to visit, and I inform her. I tell her, I don't feel safe bringing my grandson out there. He's nonverbal autistic, and he likes to pick up things and, spin them around in his fingers, give him a sniff and a taste, and, if he'd found something and eaten it by accident, no, I'm not going to take that chance. I'm not going to take the chance of my grandson finding something and dying from an overdose. And she gets mad at me and makes excuses saying, somebody else left the drugs there. No, they're your drugs. Okay, take responsibility for your drugs. I don't care if you take them. But I'm not bringing my grandson out there, over a possibility that you forgot it somewhere and he gets a hold of it. And you cannot understand that. She can't understand that. I'm mean. It's my fault about the cats. It's my fault she was in the hospital. It's my fault shit got stolen from her house for some reason. I don't know. Everything's my fault. But, the doctors are lying, social services is lying, North Beach Paws is lying, her old doctor is lying, animal control is lying, I'm lying, everybody's lying, and nothing is her fault. So, yeah, I blocked her on Facebook. She still has both my phone numbers, and she can call and resolve the situation. But I'm not doing it over messages again. That's all she does is messages. And I can back up all the shit she said with these messages. She can erase them off of her phone all she wants, but they stay on my phone. So, yeah, technology. So anyways, yeah, I blocked her on Facebook only. She has both my phone numbers, but she would rather talk shit behind my back, than, talk to me on any real level to make peace and settle the situation. So yeah, yes, I'll talk about some of the shit she's talking about. Yes, I did get drunk. Yes, I hit my head. I have seizures and memory loss. Okay, I don't know where I went to 4th and 5th grade at, and a whole lot of other shit. And when I ask her, she says, you'll remember, but she won't tell me what happened. And then she makes me feel ashamed that if I ask any of the family, that they'll ridicule and mock me and disown me. So I isolated myself from my family over shame of something that was an accident, that, it happened. Yes, I have bipolar and schizoaffective disorder. I've never hid that from anybody either. Like I said, I take medication, I'm stable. Okay, what's the next one? She took care of me and my kids while I was on drugs. Never happened. Okay. I tried heroin once when I was like 17, that I got from my brother. Thought I was dead for 8 hours, yeah. Okay, I've done shrooms, I've done acid, tried meth. How the fuck can anybody stand the taste of that? Yeah. So, I'm not saying I'm a saint, that I'm perfect. I've done drugs, I've drunk. I've never been arrested. I've never, spent time in jail. And, both my kids are grown up and successful in life and are happy, well-adjusted. I got a couple of great-grandsons, yeah. One may be autistic, but Oh, I love him so much, and I get to spend every day with him while his mom works. Oh my God, I dress like a pirate, or I go to medieval events. Why, yes. Yes. Man, the looks on the kids' faces when they see, a real pirate or Viking, or a comic book hero. I love the look on the kids' faces. I enjoy taking my kids to these cons. They had a lot of fun. Medieval events, they've made lifelong friends. I have too. I don't regret my life. And now that I'm not being made to feel ashamed of it, I want to bring everybody into my weird life. And, yeah, so that's what's been going on. Yeah. So if you have any questions about her lies or accusations, go ahead and ask me and I'll tell you the truth. Things she said, got it all on messages to back up everything she said. So yeah, until she can take responsibility for her own life and her own decisions and get her shit together, not going to be part of it. So yeah, if I can kick my toxic mom out of my life after 51 fucking years, you guys can kick any toxic people out of your life too. I mean, don't make yourself miserable. Don't doubt yourself over somebody else's fucking opinion. I mean, I feel like I've missed out on so much that I could have spent time with my family, going to the reunions, holidays, and not being told that they're ashamed of me and I'm a freak and an oddity. You are not a freak or an oddity. You are a fucking human being and should be treated respectfully like one. So yeah, don't put up with toxicity in your life. Shut that shit down. Your happiness depends on it. So yeah, there's my mental health checkup, and I'll tell you what, I haven't felt this free in my entire life. I wished I had listened to my therapist and did this shit years ago, instead of, oh, she's my mom, I can't do it, she's my mom, she loves me. No, she loves the attention, yeah, I'm not blind enough that she needs to read to me. When I did have a brain infection. It was very small. I took some antibiotics for 2 weeks. It was gone. She didn't have to take care of me. She didn't ever have to take care of my kids. The only person she takes care of is my brother. Okay? Yeah. He comes before anything or anybody. So, I've known this my entire life, and I quit trying. But yeah. Anyways, oh my God, I'm loving life now. I'm happy. I'm finally happy with myself. I'm happy with the way I look. Yeah, I'm 51. I should look like this. Not that I look extremely old or dumpy, but yeah. Anyways, like I said, don't let toxicity leech the fun out of your life or your joy. Man, set boundaries. Put your foot down. Put your foot down. You're worth it. You're totally worth it. Put your foot down. Set your boundaries. And, take time for you. Yeah. That's all I got to say. This has been my mental health checkup. I'll do more now. Yeah. Make peace with yourself. You're the only enemy you've actually got. So yeah, make peace with yourself.